Over the days following the release of the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, I had a great time playing through some of the best Mario games of all time.
Holy shit, dog shit, I hate 1996. Ah, shit. Holy fuckamole, dude. Fuck! No! Shit. What kind of hell loop did I just walk into? This is bullshit. No way that doesn't hit him. I'm trying to be family friendly, but fuck this game, dude.
I hadn't played any of these games all the way through before, so rather than taking my time and properly enjoying them, I decided to play through one game per day to see if they're as difficult as I remember, and figure out if the 3D All-Stars collection is as big of a cash grab as people are saying it is. Now, as a disclaimer, I've seen speedruns of each of the games, so I definitely got through these a bit quicker than most people would, but each day I sat down and refused to stop playing or switch to something else until I had beaten the entirety of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. These are my experiences. I started off this challenge right, with a game that many regard as one of the greatest of all time, and one that still has an extremely active speedrunning community, Super Mario 64. The day of the game's release, I loaded into Peach's Castle grounds and began collecting stars in a game I thought might be one of the longest ones, as you require more stars in this game for completion than either of the others. Right off the bat, I noticed that the movement is way harder than it looks. Mario felt a bit sluggish in his turns, and the switch from Nintendo 64 to the Switch meant that the controller didn't have notches like it did back in the old days, making precise angled movement and consistent movement in one direction significantly harder. In addition, I didn't have as much experience playing 64 as I did with the other Mario games, so figuring out triple jump timing and spacing was far more difficult than I expected. Once I had adapted, however, it became clear why Super Mario 64 is such a widely renowned game. Each stage felt like its own universe, with varied aesthetics, enemies, and stars to collect, and it made each painting I jumped into feel varied and unique. The difficulty maintained a consistent ramp-up, with early levels being extremely forgiving, and some of the later ones having some stars that took far longer to complete than I ever would have expected. Snowman Land and Tall Mountain in particular gave me issues, but apart from that, 64 was an incredible experience and really shows how Nintendo set the standard for their 3D Mario games. The ability to get stars in any order allowed for so much player agency if you knew how to get each one without the clues in the stars' names. And I spent so much time going for ridiculous movement tricks and skips, not because it helped me complete the game faster, but because it was just so much fun. Hitting a new milestone and advancing to a different part of the castle felt good, and it revitalized the sense of exploration and desire to keep moving forward that you'll feel at the beginning of the game. With 15 different main stages and a handful of secret stars to find within Peach's Castle, there are plenty of places to go to find stars to progress, and you never feel truly stuck. If you just find a way to explore a new area of a world, or can interpret the hints given for each star in a different way, there's likely going to be a star there. To complete the game, you need to acquire 16 stars and defeat Bowser in the Dark World to move to the basement. Once you get 30 stars and defeat Bowser in the Lava Sea, then it opens up the upper floor and all parts of the game become available apart from the final stage. When you've gotten 70 total stars and gone up the endless staircase, you're able to challenge Bowser in the sky and complete the game. Super Mario 64 was an extremely strong start to this collection, and it took me about 5.5 hours to complete in total. Following Super Mario 64, I moved on to the game that I had spent the most time playing as a child, but had never completed in its entirety, Super Mario Sunshine. This game is regarded as the worst of the three in the 3D collection, but was absolutely the one I had the fondest memories of. Starting off getting adjusted to the new controller, switching from the 64 controls to the Sunshine controls, and not having the pressure triggers from the GameCube controller was kind of brutal. But it quickly went back to flowing just because Sunshine's movement is a lot slower than 64's in general. Mario has a water-spraying backpack contraption called the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device, or FLUDD, that allows him to either spray water, use a hover nozzle, or get other upgrades for different kinds of alternative movement. In addition to control changes, a big difference between the two is that Sunshine has far more cutscenes and an actual story, whereas 64 just had a letter from Peach at the start, and the rest of the lore came from talking to characters and exploring. This causes Sunshine to feel like it starts off slowly, but the pace quickly picks up once all the initial exposition is completed. The majority of the overworld map is available to explore from the get-go. Delfino Plaza is significantly smaller than Peach's Castle, which allows you to see tasks you need to complete for secret stars, but they're gated behind abilities you have not received yet. This can be frustrating, and there are a handful of design choices that are questionable across all 7 stages in Sunshine. The biggest of these, in my opinion, is that stars can no longer be completed in any order. Each star in each stage creates a significant change in either the stage as a whole or a particular area, with the change location being zoomed in on as you're entering the world in order to provide some direction to go in. This assists with the issue of not knowing where to go to earn the star, but doesn't always give away what task you need to complete to cause it to spawn. In addition, the changes to the stage helps every star feel unique, even if it restricts your creativity a bit. Just as you start to get used to getting around the map and utilizing the new tool Mario has access to, the game takes it away from you. Each stage has its own secret star, where Mario must enter a secret area and complete platforming challenges without the assistance of FLUDD. Many find these to be some of the hardest parts of the game, as once you get used to the increased safety and movement options allowed by the hover nozzle, it becomes difficult to go back to just being normal Mario. These stages are necessary to be completed to finish the game, but honestly, they're great practice for getting down wall jumps, dives, and running on moving platforms. I mention that they're necessary only because the requirements to complete Sunshine are somewhat different from the way to finish 64. While in 64 you can get 70 stars and fight Bowser without entering all the worlds, Sunshine's approach is that the only things you must complete are the first 7 stars and chasing down Shadow Mario in all 7 of the different levels to unlock the final area and challenge Bowser. This difference from 64 makes it significantly easier to get stuck in Sunshine, as if you can't figure out how to complete one of the tasks or struggle with the platforming of one of the secret stages, you're not beating the game. All in all, I was able to get through all of Sunshine with only 1 secret star earned in another 5.5 hours. Galaxy was the game I had the least experience with, and I really didn't have high hopes coming into it. I was put off by the idea of motion controls on the Switch, and it really didn't look that interesting. I'm gonna say it now though, I was insanely wrong. Super Mario Galaxy is a fantastic game, if a lot different from a lot of the rest of the games in the Mario franchise. Its movement is similar to Mario 64, but the gimmicks and worlds are masterfully created. Each of its galaxies have their own feel, and the power-ups are all unique and fun to use. The story is more well explained than 64's, but it doesn't feel bogged down by cutscenes like Sunshine did. Galaxy definitely feels easier than the other games, and there's less to explore, but overall, it is extremely well done, and they even managed to make the water levels and motion control galaxies feel fun. The hub world leaves a bit to be desired, with not much to do but talk to NPCs and move between launch locations, but having a visual indicator of your progress and the ship gaining more and more power is beautiful. Every part of the hub world allows new galaxies to be available depending on how many stars you've collected so far. And to complete each portion, you must get a certain number of stars to make a boss fight available. Each galaxy has its own theme, whether that's a ghost level, a galaxy based around bees, or even moving on giant moving toys, each with unique and recurring power-ups like the bee suit, fire and ice flowers, or the ability to manipulate gravity to your advantage. There were no stages I really struggled with, but it was very easy to get turned around and not know where to go after loading in because of the ability to walk on the bottom of pieces of land in some galaxies, and the controls got a bit confusing and can get stuck if you try to make quick turns. To complete Super Mario Galaxy, you must get 60 power stars and defeat all of the bosses in each hub to challenge Bowser. All in all, it took around 6.5 hours to complete Super Mario Galaxy. So, it took 17 hours total to complete all 3 Mario games at the minimum requirements. And even after completing this challenge, I still find myself jumping back into 64 and Sunshine to try speedrun strategies or collect stars that I had missed. All 3 of the games included on this collection are masterpieces, and absolutely worth the cost. To those who are saying that this collection is a cash grab, it may be to those who already own all the consoles and games necessary to play these, but having them all appearing in one game for a single console increases their accessibility, and the modernized graphics make all the text, the worlds, and even Mario himself look so much better. My favorite 3D Mario game from the collection was Sunshine before this challenge, but after experiencing them one after another, the new rankings go 64, then Galaxy, then Sunshine. Go pick up the Mario 3D collection if possible, because there's whisperings of it only being available for a limited time, and you definitely don't want to miss out on this. With that though, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you later.